Hey guys, it's your boy Radiator and welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video, I am bringing you guys another glorious video game review. Y'all know on the channel, I love my video games, whether it is old school or new. So I'm going to be discussing a video game based off of a popular Cartoon Network franchise. One that most people know from the early to mid 2000s. And that series I'm talking about is Ben 10. But not just any Ben 10 video game. I'm talking about the only Ben 10 Protector of Earth. Ben 10 Protector of Earth was released in North America on October 30th, 2007. It was developed by High Voltage Software and First Playable Productions. It was published by D3 Publisher and it was released on the PlayStation 2, Nintendo Wii, PSP, and Nintendo DS. So for the Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 2, and the PSP, High Voltage Productions worked on that, while First Playable Productions worked on the DS version. As far as gameplay goes, you pretty much play as Ben Tennyson as you travel through 5 regions within the United States trying to gather pieces and DNA samples back from Vilgax that were stolen from you. And in the beginning of the game, you get access to a certain amount of aliens. As you go through many of the levels, defeat a lot of the boss fights, you end up getting access to 5 out of the 10 alien forms on the Omnitrix. I know some of you are probably like, you only get access to 5, and theoretically Ben really did have more than 10 alien samples on the Omnitrix before the end of the series, but you only get access to 5. I mean, the 5 that we got, I'm not complaining, they're alright. But in the beginning of the game, you get only 3 aliens, I believe, to start off with, and you have limited time on the Omnitrix. Just like in the cartoon series, when the Omnitrix powers down, you're stuck in Ben's form until the Omnitrix gets enough juice to where you can use it again. 5 aliens, you get access to Heat Blast, Accelerate, Cannon Bolt, Wild Vine, and Forearms. Now, personally, I would have liked to have Diamond Head or even Gray Matter. Again, beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers. Those are 5 solid aliens right there. And after defeating many of the boss fights and levels, you do end up getting some of the master controls, so you don't have that limited time restriction. So you're able to use aliens for a longer period of time. And with the game being released on numerous platforms, there are going to be some differences. With the PlayStation 2, Nintendo Wii, and the PSP version, they're pretty much the same. But on the Nintendo DS, it is a side-scrolling 2D beat-em-up where you can use the screens to access the Omnitrix as well as switch from other alien forms. Now, you know your boy, I did not play it on any other console other than the PS2. However, I did play it with my cousin on the Nintendo Wii because that's what he had it on. Personally, this would be the only console I would want to play it on. The PSP, yeah, that sounds like cool, but realistically, it's got to be played on a bigger screen because this game is one of my favorite PlayStation 2 games. I fell in love with this game. I beat it in like 1 weekend. Theoretically, the game is pretty short. It should not have taken me 14 hours to beat it, and I guarantee you it wouldn't take me 14 hours to beat it now. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the pros and the cons between the game. First up on the pros, we got gameplay. I have to admit, a lot of the level designs, like solving puzzles and just overall playing as he said aliens in various like scenes from the cartoon as far as all around the United States, is a lot of fun. And some of the combos that you get unlocked from these aliens are really cool too. I personally had a lot of fun with the gameplay. Like, it's very cartoony because again, it's a cartoon on the verge of a beat 'em ups kind of style, because you do get in areas where you get swarmed by enemies and foes that you got to fight. And most of the boss fights aren't all that challenging. The only one, if any, that was really difficult was Vilgax. And it goes by quicker if you play with 2 people, but for the most part, when I played the game, I only played just me, myself, and I. So I kind of briefly just mentioned it, but the level designs are really nice. For a game that came out in 2007, it had not too bad graphics, but then again, it was on the PlayStation 2, so you're gonna get a better enhanced version, I guess you would say. You might even get that maybe on the Wii, but the PS2 version that I played on was not that bad. You know, I can't complain. I liked how you got to go in swampy areas, you got to go on top of Mount Rushmore, and you just really got to explore those 5 regions around the United States like the game says. So the boss fights in the game, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed it because as a kid playing this game, it wasn't all that challenging. Like I mentioned earlier, the only challenging boss fight in this game literally was Vilgax. All the other boss fights really aren't that hard. Like you get Kevin 11, and then you get some other known characters within the game as far as boss fights that you have to go against. I know some kids now are able to play a lot of difficulty games, but me growing up, I was someone that did not necessarily dabble in a lot of hardcore difficult games. I typically like to kind of keep it simple and easy. Now of course I play games on harder difficulties, but I was like 12 playing this game. So one thing I definitely liked about this was that it was co-op. So if you did want to play with a friend, you could. And I think that was a really good move. Say for example, if you had a buddy over and they wanted to play, you can just hand them the sticks and it's like, all right, yeah, come on. We can both be Ben Tennyson fighting Vilgax together. Definitely did come in handy when me and an old childhood friend of mine, we did play the game. Not the whole game together. I did the majority of it on my own, but there were certain sections where I did need his help, and I'll get to that later in the video. But when it came to fighting Vilgax, I fought Vilgax on my own, and of course master controls of the Omnitrix when you get access to all 5 aliens and you don't have that restricted, stupid, limited time. It is great because I cannot sit here and tell you how many times it sucked when you were playing in a really difficult part in the game and you ran out of time when you went back to Ben Tennyson. I don't want to play as Ben. I'm trying to play as Heat Blast, boy. I'm trying to give people them hands as forearms. I'm trying to give them a hand to hand to hand to hand. 4 hands. Unfortunately, there were some cons. As good as it was, there were some difficulties. By that, I mean only really 2. One being access to only 5 aliens. Now, I'm someone that would have enjoyed having access to at least, like, if not 10, give your boy like 8. But then again, like most of the levels, you really didn't need Ripjaws or Ghost Freak, Gray Matter. Now, Diamond Head, if you wanted to make it 6, Diamond Head actually would have made sense if you wanted to add him into the game. Yes, in some levels, it did help when you had certain aliens, but at the same time, dog, if I'm gonna get Master Control unlocked, then I might as well be hitting niggas with hands with all 10 aliens. I'm just being real. And the only other thing I did not like was co-op dependent levels. And I say that because there were levels to where let's say for example, you were playing as Accelerate. You would have to stand on something to open a door, but then you would have to go super fast, but the door was shut right when you get there. So it made it difficult to complete certain levels if you didn't have that co-op dependency. Because with that, it did allow me to finish some levels when I first played through the game. Because trust me, I tried. I sat there for, unfortunately, hours trying to think of strategies to do that stuff. And unfortunately, I just needed the help of a friend. If I wanted like a throwback, I could easily go back and play this game. And if they were to make like a remastered version of it now, I'm sure I would have fun playing it. And there are tons of Ben 10 games out there. Some that I have played, some that I chose not to play. Highly recommend playing if you just want something to just add on to your PlayStation 2 collection, or if you just want to take a blast from the past and just have something nostalgic to play. Alrighty guys, thank you for tuning in for a brand new video game review on the channel. If you liked the video, leave a like, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel if you were brand new. Let me know down in the comment section below if you played this set game, or if you have a Ben 10 game that you played out there that you enjoyed, or better yet, if you watched Ben 10, let me know down in the comment section below what was your favorite alien from that said show. Personally, my favorite was Heat Blast. Ironically enough, when I met Tara Strong at Collecticon in 2023, I told her that that was my favorite alien from Ben 10, and she told me that a lot of the guys that she's met at the conventions have said that Heat Blast is their favorite alien. Heat Blast was cool. It was an alien on fire, and it was voiced by Steve Bloom. Links to my socials in the description below, and don't forget to hit the bell on the channel so that way you get notified for whenever I upload a future upload on this channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Rated Ed, and I am out of here.